What is it that we starseeds need in this moment in time? My name is Alice Roorda. I'm a spiritual psychologist, and these videos on YouTube are blanco. I go in empty. I don't know what's coming. I'm just going to open a portal in a moment and see what comes through. What is always in service of what we starseeds need in this moment in time. Something you need to hear, something you needs to be channeled, an exercise, a practice, an insight, a coding, whatever needs to come through. And we allow it here to exist. So with no further ado, I'm going to open a portal of loving light, of source energy, of high frequency, of unconditional love. Here we are together in this portal of love, pure love, high wisdom. And if you've never seen a video of me, my body is always moving with the energy rising. Okay, let me focus for a moment so I can see what's coming through. 2, 3, 2, 3. It's unclear. 2 in front. I think there's one behind. Light beings. We are guided by light beings today. High dimensional light beings. I want to say 12. We had that before. Beautiful. So if you can feel energy, you might want to tap into their energy. So it's beautiful. It's loving. It's light. It's high. It's high frequency energy. It is the feeling of oneness, of no separation, of all us being one. So tap into that energy. And I want to recommend you not to do so much. Go out of the doing. Stay in the beingness, in the receivingness, in the surrenderness. If that is all English. I'm from the Netherlands. So just surrender to what's coming, as I do. I have no idea what's following, but I know that we're going to get guidance, and it's going to be magnificent. You might want to close your eyes and in a meditative state, in the state of nothingness, in the state of coming together with all that you are in that alignment. In that alignment with your truth, with your higher self, with your soul, with all that you are. And you are that expansion of self. You are more, and I'm speaking to a known audience. You are more than your human body. But we're going to focus on that for a moment. Your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful human body. And if you feel that is not the case, I want to invite you to become it the case. Embrace your body, embrace your humanness, embrace what you have here in this planet. You chose to be here into a human body for a reason. And the reason being you wanted to feel restriction. You wanted to feel limitation. You wanted to feel how it was to be in a third dimensional, low density environment, and then to experience you climbing out of it or climbing into it, being back to your own sovereign state. But the end goal is not more important than the journey to it. You came for the journey because you were already in the state of being so well connected. You came here to experience emotions, limitations, suffering. You came here to experience separation from persons, from yourself, from the earth, from your galactic families. You wanted to experience how it felt to be separated and to long and to miss and to feel lonely. You came here for that experience. And it's taught you, teaches you so much, isn't it? It teaches you how you can be a separate, and maybe there's so many other things you are learning here, The main thing is how you can be a separate identity or feel that you are from everything in the world, from nature, from animals, from your other human fellow beings. It's ridiculous, but you thought you were an individual separate entity. And you come to the understanding, oh shit, that was actually never the case. I was all one with everything, but I wanted to feel the separation. So I can feel into longing and desperation and shame and guilt and all these emotions that are so unique to this humankind that you wanted to experience in depth. And have you? Congratulations. You did what you came for. Oh no, my human is like, okay, my human is not talking. Okay, we're channeling. We're doing this. I wanted to have a bit of empathy for you, but this is beyond feeling empathy and care and love for yourself because you're in the limitation. This message is, it is amazing you felt limitation. It's amazing you have felt guilt or still feel that to the bone. That is what you wanted here on earth, to feel all those expressions and parts of yourself. It is amazing. Celebrate it. Celebrate that human experience you have here. And you know it has been tough. You know, regardless of where you're now, whatever you experience until this moment has been hardship at times, has been tough at times. Great, because that's what you wanted, because that's the only way you can intensify, you can intensely feel those emotions, right? They were intense. Oh yes. And perhaps you're still in the middle of it, those intense feelings. Bravo. You are experiencing. This is not me. You are experiencing it. Experience it fully. Okay, the wisdom is coming in a moment. They just want you to feel all those feelings. So for those who are not in it at this moment, try to feel more into the parts that feel heavier and more difficult, because we're going to work with it, I feel. They are going to have us work with it. Thank you. So here you are, a human being, beautiful, gorgeous, delicious human being on this earth plane, having this amazing human experience. Can you see it while we talk from a bit of a higher perspective? Or looking at it instead of being in it? It is beautiful to be in it and to experience and to indulge in it. But sometimes you want to be out of it and observe it as well. And we want to invite you to become the observer as much as the experiencer. And you can choose between those two at any moment of time. You are that higher perspective. That is your soul. That is your higher self. That is your quantum wisdom, whatever name you want to give it. Alice loves the term higher self. Hence we go with it. Isn't it wonderful? You can choose to look at your life from that perspective. And Alice is all about not just going outside of your body and looking at it. She's all about integrating it and living from there. We love that. But that is not what we want to convey today. Thank you. Today is about you have a choice. And it's not that you need to get away from misery and hardship and all of those wonderful emotions that you're feeling or can feel. It is not that you need to go away from it because you want to indulge it. You want to experience it. But you can experience it while losing yourself in it, which is also an amazing experience. and still have a bit of an awareness that you're observing it all. Wow. I'm having that sadness, I'm crying, I'm in the middle of it, of a breakup, and it feels like the world has ended. And your higher self is like, wow, what an experience. I love it. It is not thinking like that, but I'm exaggerating it just for you to understand the differences. And you hearing me flip between them, these light beings, and me, the human. So you have a choice. So now let's go to those choices. Not from a verbal, mental perspective, but from an experiential experience. So you feel that you have that choice in any moment in time. Now remember, once more, before we go there, the light beings say, it is wonderful to have those emotions. You came here for it. So avoiding them altogether is not what you want. You don't want to get enlightened so fast because you want the journey, you want the emotions, you want the experience. Keep that in mind in all times. There's nothing wrong with you having emotions and experience hardship and difficulties. Yay, it is wonderful. Now, if you feel that you're drowning in it, like, for example, with a depression or with a mental health issue, you become schizophrenic or bipolar, or you went too far. An amazing experience for a little while, but you don't want to lose yourself in it. You're not here to lose yourself, maybe for a little bit. You're in the middle of these emotions and crying and disaster. And you want to invite that in because you want to feel it, but realize, and we're going to go in that practice in a moment, realize at all times you're deciding in this moment to experience it, to indulge in it. We want you to be aware it is a choice that you are having in that moment. And sometimes you want to drown in it. And when it's enough, when you feel it's enough, you have felt it, because you start to repeat the cycle over and over, and that's not what you want. You have experienced it, it's enough, unless you want to experience cycles. But that's only once, and then you know what that is about. But you don't want to go to extremes, to bipolar, to schizophrenic, to depression, because then you lost yourself. That is what that is. And much more, but in this context, that is what that is. You still have a choice. You rather choose that before you get into it, but even if you're into it, stay tuned. Last time we're saying it, remember, with what we're going to do now, you can snap out of it, but we want you to remember and be aware that it's good for you to experience emotions. The other part of it, you being here on this planet, is you want to go to shine your light. You're here to support humanity. So there's not that you're going and deep dive in all these emotions, and this depression is then wonderful and embrace it and sink even deeper. No, you're also here to bring the light. So while you're having all those experiences, and maybe the more you become realized, self-realized, the less you indulge in it. You have done it. You don't need to do it so much anymore. 2024, 2025, you can lessen that part. Now is the time to step more into your light, to be more of the light, to be more in connection with your higher self, to embody that, to live soul-based, to live from your higher self, to have that burst into your life, to surrender to it. So all this emotion you had are enough. You don't need to indulge or seek them out any further. Okay. I want to go. I look at the time. I want to go and they want to go, waiting for here. Okay, I hand over to these light beings. Oh gosh, such beautiful energy. Can you feel that? Immediately is that feeling of oneness. At the moment I feel separate from them because I'm not fully going into it. So I can still sit here as Alice. But you're welcome to do so. All right. Let's get out of the doing. To do so. Let's get out of the doing and just sitting here. And we're going to the second part, the second element, channeled element of you having a choice. To be in the emotion or to look at the higher perspective. And the more you live in that alignment with your higher self, be your highest self, feel that you are your highest self, that is guiding you through this life. Whatever part you are, just you know it's there, you connecting with it, you realizing it is part of you, or you living fully from it, your higher self. You can all be in that awareness of your higher self and you're experiencing a emotion. We want to invite you to think of or feel into a strong, lower vibrational emotion. Because we want you to practice to snap out of it. Let's not talk. Think of something that is a bit heavier that you can relate to. You can just simply think of the disasters in the world, the heaviness of the world, or the city that you're in, or in a person that you know, and become part of it. All right. Thank you. That is great. So now stop actively feeling it, just stay with it. Don't make it any bigger than it already is. It's freaking heavy. This energy here is yeah, that's my human and funny. The moment I tune into them, they're like, I don't know what you mean. It is wonderful, it's beautiful to witness even this emotion. All right. We want you to see, let it go in the sense, have it in front of you or being it just there in your awareness. We want to invite you to just, in your mind, step a step back while it's in front of you. You can even hold it in your hands or perhaps you still feel it in your body, whatever it is. We want you energetically to step a step back. That can be backwards, it can be a little bit upwards, however that feels for you. Those that know how to do it, you can imagine you step a little bit backwards. For me, Alice, it's always on my right side up. I don't know where you are. Away from it, and then look from that higher perspective, from that different perspective, back at it. And if you don't know, if you don't know how to do this, you know how to do this. When you think you don't, you do. You have inner dialogues with voices in your head telling you that's a good idea or maybe it's not. There you take a distance from the matter that you're discussing. You can take a little bit of a distance from it and look at it. You're capable of doing that. All right. So it could be your inner voice, it could be your higher self that you are connecting with and that you're looking from at it. With love, with wow, with compassion. Do it now. With wow, what an experience you're having there. And observe really those feelings that your human has in your body or in the body. Where is that felt in the body? And now you start to feel, when I ask that, feel that. Where is that in your body? You hop a bit in your body, and then you move back to your higher self. You're coming back to feel it, and then you're coming back. Maybe it's a bit in and out, and perhaps it's even you having those perspectives at the same time. But in the beginning it might be a bit in and out, so you tune where you feel that in your body, great. Then you go back out again and observe that you're feeling, or your body having these feelings in your belly, in your chest, in your throat, wherever it is. Observe that with amazement, with love. Wow. You can just think of something and then you have a visual experience, an emotional experience. Wow. So I really want you to get out of that. You being the sadness, you being the anger, you being the shame, because we always identify with it. I want to invite you to get out of it and observe it with amazement, with awe, with love for that human that you are, having such an amazing experience. And allowing that experience to be there. Don't diminish it. Don't hug it to death. Just observing it. And with that observation, you allowing it to be there. You allowing it to be there. And unfold whatever way it wants to unfold. Your body can even be crying and cringing and feeling heavy or fiery or whatever it is. Let it experience that. But I don't want you to feed it by being in it and creating those loops and making it bigger. No, it is there. You observing it in awe, in wonder. And sometimes you want to come back in it just to feel, oh yeah, that's how it feels as a human body. And then pop back out of it. And just love. All it needs is love. Until you feel it has experienced it enough. You feel that because you might yawn, you might feel it's complete, your emotion diminishes a bit. And if it doesn't, then apparently something more needs to be experienced there. So you don't decide when it finishes. But it only happens when you observe it. It slowly is done expressing it. If you stay in it and you start thinking of, but he said this and that, you're feeding it and it extends and it extends and you make it bigger and longer, and you only want to, right now, want to feel it in the moment. You want to express it, you want to have endured it, and then you feel when it's enough. So you don't want to think more about what happened. You just experience the emotion until it is enough. If you notice there's any thinking that aggravates it, can you stop that? Is it serving you in any way to think about it, that this and that happened and so? How in the hell is that serving you? You just want to experience that emotion in that moment, if at all. And that is it. So, your left brain is the thought, is what wants to continue it. I want you to imagine that on the side, just a bit above your ear, is a knot that has a dimmer on it. You can dim your thoughts, you can switch them off. So I want you to just turn that one now to 0. Switch it off. Or maybe a little bit so you can still think about what I'm saying, whatever you want. But when you notice you repeating thoughts about things are happening that activated your emotion, switch it off. It's not serving you. Just observe you doing that. When that happens, wow, I'm creating more thoughts and I'm going back to something that has already happened. And I'm going to activate now so many thoughts of something that already happened. What sense does it make for you to go over that again? You want to maybe experience the anger or whatever the emotion is until it's done in itself. You don't need to put more wood on the fire. You don't need to carry more water to your tears. It is done when it's done. You just wanted to feel that emotion. Great, until it's done. So no feeding of it and no searching for it. This was just the exercise for you to have something to work with. But we're not asking you to go and search for emotions now. You have done that enough in your life. Done and over with. It is time to be done and over with. We're not telling you you are done and over with. The emotions, calling for them, asking for them. No more. No more in the past. No more going over things that you have already expressed emotionally. Unless you feel there's still something in your system that is stuck there. Great. Go to the stuckness. Do whatever we did here now, right? Feel it in your body. Connect with it. And then observe it from a distance playing out. With love, right? And sometimes you need to dive in it first to really feel it. Become aware of it. So you can bring it up. Because it was still there. That is loving yourself. That is caring for yourself. Not just leaving it all there. No, working with it, cleaning it up. Now that we're at it, you have just felt how you have a choice of feeling it and expressing it. And if it's not the time, you can even park it and come back to it in another time. But don't bury it, right? If it's still something there, sit with it for a moment. And have your loving higher expression be with it and witness it. Because it wants to be witnessed and expressed. All right. We hope that helped you deciding and being aware that you have a choice in the matter. Because we want you to shine your light as bright as you can and support humanity from that perspective. The more you shine your light, the more light there will be on this planet, and the more people can have this transition that we just described to you as well, although it might not be as conscious as you just did. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we depart. Beautiful. And with that, we finish this video. If this is something you like, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That will really help this channel. Love to hear how you feel right now. Much, much, much love. And we're looking forward to connect with you next time. Bye-bye.